Happy Monday, everyone. Hope everyone is well and that you had a nice weekend. November 4th, 2024, Election Eve. I'm Mark Troth, broker and co-owner of Berkshire Hathaway HomeServices Troth Realtors, bringing you this week's version of the Antelope Valley Real Estate Market Snapshot, where week in and week out, we take a look at exactly what's going on in the Antelope Valley real estate market. As I like to point out, I feel it's important for residents, property owners, here in the Antelope Valley to have a trusted local resource to go to see exactly what's going on in our local real estate market. As I point out every week, a market is definitely unique here in the Antelope Valley to other areas of Southern California, Los Angeles County, and our statistics just always don't behave the rest of the way that both of those areas do. And so I like to put these videos out every week, get a lot of good comments on them. So we will get into this week's statistics. You can see them over my shoulder there. But as I said, it's Election Eve, tomorrow, the 5th of November, Election Day. I hope that you exercise your right to get out and vote and make your voice heard and participate in the democratic process. So this week here in, let me back up just a little bit. I also like to point out that our statistics are courtesy of the Greater Antelope Valley Association of Realtors MLS system. So we start this week with 872 active residential listings on the market, down just a tick, 2.6% from where we were last week. Obviously, as we head into the Thanksgiving and Christmas and other holidays, likely to see that number tail off a little bit. And and kind of historically it's done, we are starting to see a little bit fewer properties come on the market. And along with that, our pendings are also down just less than 1% from where we were last year. We're at 375 pending, those residential properties that are under contract in escrow. So third week in a row, we've held firm on that upper 300 number. We're kind of, those of us in the real estate industry, kind of keeping our fingers crossed that maybe once we get the election behind us tomorrow, it's kind of got some people hyper focused on where the country is going to be heading. Perhaps we'll start to see that number increase. Some talk that we may see a Fed drop of interest rates, which may or may not have an effect on long-term interest rates. But hopefully, we'll start to see that pending number start to pick up and increase as we head through the end of 2024 and into 2025. New listings last week, 73. That's up 9% from the week before, but still typically nowhere close to the mid 90s, low hundreds that we typically have coming on the market week in and week out. Median price of those new listings, 469, and that number down for about the third week in a row. So are we starting to see maybe a little bit of downward pressure on prices? It's 2.3% down from the week prior. Perhaps as sellers start to get a little bit more aggressive and anxious, those folks that really, really want to move, trying to attract one of those limited number of buyers that are currently out there in our market. And so we'll kind of keep an eye on that. It does typically tend to drop a little bit this time of the year, but we'll just keep an eye and see where that's going. New properties into escrow. We had a decent week last week compared to the really, really bad week the week before. We're at 68, which is just under 26% up from the week prior. The week prior was just really not pretty at all. It's kind of perhaps some definite concern. Okay, hopefully it wasn't going to be a trend, and we bounced back this week. But we can still see those properties new into escrow definitely lagging behind the number of new listings coming on the market. And I think one thing that encouraged that number to bump up, you can see this median days on the market is at 40. That's up 12 days from where we were and had been. And so what my theory is on that, we are seeing some of those properties that were on the market 3-4 weeks start to see some price adjustments, some price cuts, making them more attractive. And so some of those properties, those aged properties that have been on the market, went into escrow as the sellers considered reducing their price. Number of listings sold, once again, up from a dismal week, the last week prior, up 18%. And you can see, once again, the median sales price of those listings down 11.5%. So, in conclusion, our market is kind of bouncing around a little bit, kind of interesting watching and see where it's going to go through the last 7-8 weeks of 2024 and how we're going to start 2025. And so that's why every week we'll continue to put out this market update video so you can follow along. Like to give my thoughts and opinion on where we've been and where we're heading. But if there's any other statistics, information that myself or any of our other trusted associates here at Berkshire Hathaway Home Services, Troth REALTORS can provide you, by all means, please feel free to reach out to us, where we have proudly been serving the Antelope Valley real estate market since 1957. All right, everybody, take care. Make it a great week, and we'll talk to you next Monday. Bye-bye.